The alien council chamber floated in the heart of a golden station above a blue gas giant. Walls of crystal reflected light in 100 directions, making the room shine like a temple. Around the great circular table, the leaders of 13-star empires gathered. Their voices echoed with authority, with pride, and with fear they tried to hide. For centuries, this council had ruled the stars without challenge. They had bent weaker civilizations to their will, taxed entire planets, and crushed rebellions before they could grow. They believed they were untouchable. Until tonight, the chamber's doors opened with a hiss. An envoy from the intelligence branch entered, carrying a glowing cube. His skin trembled, his voice cracked as he bowed before the council. "My lords," he began, "we have received troubling reports. A young species, the one from the third planet of the Sol system, has entered interstellar space." A ripple of laughter broke across the table. The reptilian governor of Valon leaned back in his chair. "The humans. That primitive world of ocean and dirt? We have watched their wars. They kill each other with fire and metal toys. What threat could they be?" The envoy swallowed hard and placed the cube on the table. It lit up, projecting a massive hologram in the air. The image showed shadows moving in the black of space near Jupiter. At first the outlines looked like asteroids, but then details sharpened. Towers, engines, and weapon ports became visible. The scale markers appeared next to the shapes. The chamber fell silent. These were not asteroids. These were ships, colossal warships, each one larger than the largest council dreadnought. Their hulls stretched for kilometers. Rows of cannons lined their sides. Energy cores pulsed like beating hearts. Even blurred by distance, the sheer size was unmistakable. The insectoid matriarch of the Krov clicked her mandibles. "This is impossible. No species advances so fast. How can a race that only discovered radio signals a short time ago create fleets larger than ours?" The envoy's voice shook. "We do not know, matriarch. Our observers believe they have been hiding their progress. They used their own solar system as a shield, masking their construction yards behind their outer planets. What you see here is only a fraction. We estimate there are hundreds of these vessels." The laughter was gone. Only silence remained, heavy and sharp. The avian chancellor spread his wings nervously. "Perhaps the scale markers are wrong. Surely our analysts miscalculated." The envoy tapped the cube. The hologram zoomed in on one ship. A single exhaust vent was the size of a council destroyer. The perspective left no doubt. The wolf-like general of the Thurn growled. "If these readings are true, then humanity already commands more firepower than all of us combined." Why did no one see this coming? The insectoid matriarch struck the table with a claw. "Because we dismissed them. We thought them weak. We ignored them." The hologram shifted again. This time, images showed the humans themselves. Rows of armored soldiers stood in orbital stations, training with weapons unknown to the council. Their armor shimmered with adaptive plating. Their eyes were cold, focused, unafraid. The amphibian scholar hissed through his gills. "They are preparing for war. But against who?" "Against us." No one answered. The reptilian governor tried to steady his voice. "We must act quickly. If we wait, their fleet will outgrow the galaxy itself. We must strike before their ships leave their system." The wolf general slammed a fist against the table. "And if we fail? These humans have already built weapons beyond our imagination. If they are not crushed in the cradle, then one day they will come for us." The council chamber filled with angry shouts. Some demanded war. Some begged for caution. A few suggested diplomacy, but their voices were drowned out by fear. At last, the chamber quieted as the supreme chair of the council raised her hand. Her silver eyes scanned the faces around the table. She spoke slowly, her words sharp as blades. "For 1,000 years, no empire has dared to challenge our rule. We believed ourselves eternal, yet here we stand, trembling at the rise of a world we once thought beneath us. Humanity has built giants in the dark, and now those giants move toward the light. If these reports are true, then everything we know is ending." The envoy nodded grimly. "There is more, honored chair." Our long-range sensors picked up a transmission from Earth. It was directed into deep space, but encrypted in a pattern we could barely decode. The final line was clear, however. They said, "We are coming." The chamber froze. Not a single voice dared to speak. At last, the Supreme Chair whispered the words that sealed the fate of the galaxy. "If these numbers are correct, then humanity may already outgun us." The lights of the hologram flickered. The image of Earth's warships loomed above the council, silent, waiting, larger than nightmares. The leaders of the galaxy, once so proud, now sat in fear of a race they had never taken seriously, and far away, in the shadow of Jupiter. The engines of humanity's dreadnoughts roared to life. Above the blue and white curve of Earth, silence ruled the void. Yet hidden in that silence, giants were being born. The orbital construction yards stretched farther than the eye could see, linked together by steel bridges and glowing energy webs. Massive cranes moved like insects compared to the structures they carried. Hull plates the size of skyscrapers slid into place, sealing the skeletons of vessels that dwarfed entire cities. The humans called these ships Titan-class dreadnoughts. Each was longer than a continent. Their armored sides gleamed with fresh alloy, black and silver, designed to bend the light of stars. Their cannons could split moons. Their engines could push whole fleets aside. The people of Earth looked up and saw hope. To the alien spies who watched, it was terror. From the shadows of a nearby asteroid, a hidden probe recorded every detail. Its lens shook as it focused on one dreadnought in particular. The humans had given it a name, the Guardian of Earth. Engines burned like suns at its stern. Defensive shields shimmered across its body. Entire squadrons of smaller ships, frigates and destroyers moved in tight formations around it, not protecting the dreadnought, but being protected by it. Even at rest, it felt alive like a predator waiting for prey. The alien spies sent their reports back to the Galactic Council. Each new image brought disbelief, then panic. For every Titan-class vessel completed, 2 more frames were rising. Humanity was not just building ships. Humanity was building an empire in orbit. Inside one of the human command stations, Admiral Marcus Hale stood at a wide glass window. His uniform shone with silver trim, his face calm, his eyes sharp. Below him, a Titan's main cannon was being tested. The blast lit up the void with a line of pure energy that could vaporize a mountain. A young officer stepped forward. "Admiral, the aliens have sent more probes. They think they are hidden, but we track every one of them. Shall we destroy them?" Hale shook his head. His voice was deep, steady. "No, let them see. Fear is a weapon. And right now, they are learning exactly what fear means." Back at the council chamber across the galaxy, the alien leaders stared at the new footage. The insectoid matriarch scraped her claws against the table. "That single vessel is larger than our capital station. How many do they intend to build?" The amphibian scholar's voice cracked. "It does not matter how many. One alone could destroy a fleet. And they have dozens," the wolf general snarled. "Then we must strike now, while they are not finished. If they complete these Titans, the galaxy will be lost to us." The silver-eyed chair of the council studied the images carefully. "Do you not see? They are not preparing to defend a planet. They are preparing to control a galaxy." In orbit above Earth, the Guardian of Earth slowly rotated, revealing its full profile. Weapons stretched across every surface, from railguns that could punch through shields to missile silos that could rain fire on worlds. Its hangar bays were so vast that an entire alien fleet could dock inside one. The alien probe trembled as its systems overheated from recording such scale. Before its feed cut out, it captured one final sight, the ignition of the dreadnought's engines. The blast shook nearby asteroids and bent their orbits. A single ship, still incomplete, was powerful enough to alter the gravity of space around it. In the shadows, alien operatives exchanged frantic messages. Some demanded immediate war. Others wanted to retreat and hide. But none denied the truth. The humans had surpassed them. Inside Earth's command station, Admiral Hale received a coded message. The screen displayed alien encryption, intercepted and cracked with ease. The Admiral smiled as he read the Council's panicked arguments. "They are afraid," he said quietly. "Good. Fear will keep them from uniting. "And while they fight among themselves, we finish the fleet," the young officer asked. "And if they come for us, Admiral?" Hale's eyes turned toward the great warship outside the window. "Then they will learn that Earth is not a world to conquer. Earth is a world to survive." The Guardian of Earth powered up fully for the first time. Energy fields flared bright enough to be seen from the ground below. People across the planet cheered as the dreadnought's engines roared, their thunder echoing through the upper atmosphere. But far away, in council chambers across the galaxy, alien voices whispered in fear. One of them spoke words no leader wished to hear. "That is not a ship. That is a weapon of extinction." The chamber fell silent. Every leader knew the truth. Humanity was no longer a primitive world. Humanity was a force that could not be ignored, and high above Earth, more shadows moved. New titans rising, new giants waiting. The human fleet was only beginning. The probe's final transmission ended with a single chilling image. The Guardian turning its colossal guns toward the stars. As if searching for its first target, the council leaders shivered. They had always believed themselves the masters of the galaxy. But now they saw what was coming, and none of them were ready. The Galactic Council gathered again. Their chamber, once filled with arrogance, now shook with fear. Across the table, leaders of 13 empires argued, their voices rising until the air itself seemed to tremble. "They build monsters in orbit," growled the Wolf General, his claws scraping the crystal surface. "Every hour they grow stronger. If we do not strike, they will rule us all." The Avian Chancellor spread his wings in protest. Strike against those titans? You saw the Guardian of Earth. A single blast could shatter fleets. Attack now, and we may be erased before the war even begins. The insectoid matriarch clicked her mandibles sharply. Perhaps we still have time. Perhaps they cannot yet leave their system. They may only be defending their home. The silver-eyed chair of the council raised her hand for silence. Defending? Look at them. They do not build defenses. They build weapons. And soon, those weapons will march into our stars. Before anyone could reply, the chamber lights flickered. Every crystal wall dimmed. The holograms of the fleet reports vanished. A cold static filled the air, buzzing against their ears. Then, without warning, a human face appeared above the council table. Gasps filled the chamber. The figure was tall, sharp-eyed, dressed in the uniform of Earth's fleet. His gaze was steady, his voice calm but heavy with authority. "Council of Worlds," he said. "We know you're watching us. We know of your meetings, your spies, your plans." The Wolf General bared his teeth. "How dare you invade this chamber?" The human's eyes turned on him. A slight smile touched his lips. "We have been listening for years. Every word you speak, every plan you make, every secret you thought safe." The room froze. The council had always believed their encryption unbreakable. Yet this human stood here in their chamber, using their own systems as if they were toys. The amphibian scholar's voice cracked. "Impossible. No species has ever broken our code." The human ignored him. "You laughed at us once. You called us primitive. You thought our wars made us weak. But you never understood. Conflict made us strong. Struggle made us united. And now you fear what you cannot control." The insectoid matriarch hissed. "What do you want from us?" The human's gaze hardened. "We want nothing from you. We build our fleets for ourselves, not for your empire. But know this. If you attempt to enslave us, if you threaten Earth or its people, we will not hesitate. You will not win. You cannot win." His voice grew colder, sharper, cutting into the silence. "Do not test us." The alien leaders exchanged panicked looks. For the first time in 1,000 years, the council felt powerless. The Avian Chancellor tried to find his voice. "You think you can face all of us? 13 empires, a galaxy of fleets." The human's smile returned, but this time it carried no warmth. "You still do not understand. You are already too late. While you argue, while you fear, we prepare. Our ships are ready. Our soldiers are ready, and so are our minds." The hologram zoomed in on his face. His eyes were cold steel. His final words cut like blades. "Try if you dare." The transmission ended. The chamber's lights returned, but no one moved. The council leaders sat frozen, each one hearing those words echo inside their minds. The Wolf General finally broke the silence. "They know everything. They watch us even here. There is no hiding from them." The amphibian scholar whispered, "How could they advance so fast? How could they surpass us in less than a century?" The matriarch answered bitterly, "Because we underestimated them. And now we pay the price." The silver-eyed chair leaned forward, her voice low but steady. "The question is not if they will come. The question is when." Suddenly, a new alarm rang inside the chamber. A fresh transmission from their long-range sensors blazed onto the screen. The message carried the unmistakable seal of Earth's fleet. It was short. It was simple, a single line. "We are watching." The council chamber filled with silence once more. Leaders who once commanded entire galaxies now sat like frightened children, knowing their every word, their every move was already in human hands and far away, orbiting Earth. The guardian of Earth turned its cannons toward the stars, as if already answering the challenge. The galaxy had been warned. The Galactic Council had made its choice. Fear had turned into rage, and rage had turned into war. Across 13 empires, fleets were mobilized. War drums echoed in every language. Planetary governors declared that Earth would be struck down before its titans could leave their system. No expense was spared, no ship held back. The largest armada in history began to gather. From the molten forges of Valon came steel-grey destroyers, sharp as blades. From the Krav hives swarmed insectoid carriers, their hulls buzzing with living weapons. The Thurn Wolves released packs of war cruisers, engines howling as they raced into formation. One by one, fleets converged. By the time they assembled, more than 10,000 warships filled the void. Their numbers alone blotted out the stars. Never before had so many empires united under one command. The Wolf General stood at the prow of his flagship, a beast of a vessel armed with 20 plasma lances. He growled with satisfaction. "Let humanity see the fury of the galaxy. Their ships will burn, their world will kneel." The avian chancellor spread his wings across his command platform, speaking to the fleet. "No world has ever resisted us. Earth will be no different. Today we end their arrogance." The great armada bent its course towards Sul. Engines flared. Shields hummed. The galaxy marched to war. But as the alien fleets advanced, unease grew. Probes sent ahead had fallen silent. Scouts vanished one by one. No wreckage, no signal, no explanation. It was as if something had swallowed them whole. The amphibian scholar sat pale in his command chair. "Why do we see nothing? Their system should be crawling with defense fleets. Where are they hiding?" The Wolf General barked a harsh laugh. "It does not matter. They are afraid and they run. We will hunt them down." Yet when the armada reached the edge of Sol, silence greeted them. The probes found no patrols, no satellites, no signals, only Earth, shining blue and green below, turning slowly beneath its clouds. The insectoid matriarch tapped her claws against her armrest. "This is wrong. Our spies showed hundreds of titans in orbit. Where are they now?" The fleet spread wide, searching. Thousands of ships fanned across the system. They scanned the asteroid belt, the orbits of Jupiter and Saturn, the dark edges of Neptune. Yet the titans were gone, no shipyards, no dreadnoughts, nothing. The Savian Chancellor's voice cracked. "It is a trick. They hide from us." But where could they hide giants of that size? A silence followed, colder than space itself. On Earth, cities carried on their lives as if unaware of the fleet above them. Lights glowed across the continents. Oceans rolled peacefully. No panic, no evacuation. The planet seemed too calm. The amphibian scholar whispered, "They know we are here." The Wolf General snarled, "Then let them come. We will reduce their world to ash before their eyes." But before he could issue the order, alarms blazed across the alien flagship. Dozens of sensors screamed warnings. Gravity distortions filled every display. Stars themselves seemed to ripple. The insectoid matriarch clutched her console. "Something is happening. Behind us." The entire armada turned. At first the void was empty. Then space itself bent and shifted. Out of the darkness, shapes began to form. One by one, shadows emerged, massive and silent. Human warships, not dozens, hundreds, each one larger than the alien dreadnoughts, their black hulls reflecting faint starlight. Engines glowed like captured suns. Their weapons tracked silently across the armada, locking on with deadly precision. The Guardian of Earth appeared first, leading the fleet. Its cannons, larger than cities, rotated into position. The alien ship seemed like insects before its bulk. The fleet had not vanished. It had moved. Humanity had cloaked its giants, hidden them until the perfect moment. The avian chancellor's wings trembled. This is impossible. The Wolf General, for the first time in his life, was silent. His eyes widened as the scale of humanity's fleet became clear. The human dreadnoughts outnumbered their own armada, and each one was larger, stronger, deadlier. A transmission cut across every alien channel. It was Admiral Marcus Hale, his voice steady, cold. You came to destroy Earth. You came united, believing yourselves invincible. Look around you now. Look at your doom. The humans did not fire, not yet. Their silence was worse than any weapon. The alien leaders stared at the massive fleet, their pride shattered, their confidence broken. The amphibian scholar whispered the words that all of them feared. We are not the hunters. We are the prey. The Guardian of Earth's engines burned bright, casting long shadows across the alien ships, and then the human admiral gave his order. Commence. The galaxy's largest armada hovered at the edge of Earth's system. 10,000 alien warships, glowing with weapons charged, stood ready to erase a single world. Yet all of them froze, for surrounding them on every side, cloaked in silence until this very moment, loomed humanity's fleet. Hundreds of Titan-class dreadnoughts, each one larger than the Council's flagships, had appeared from the void like phantoms. Their black hulls blotted out the stars. Their cannons tracked every alien ship in perfect synchronization. The Guardian of Earth led the formation. Its colossal shadow stretched across dozens of enemy vessels. Its weapons hummed with restrained power, energy cores glowing like molten suns. Inside the alien command ships, panic spread like fire. The avian chancellor's feathers bristled. They surrounded us. We are trapped. The Wolf General bared his teeth, trying to keep control. Numbers mean nothing. We still outgun them. Fire now. The Council fleet obeyed. Thousands of alien ships unleashed their fury at once. Plasma storms ripped through space. Missile clouds streaked forward. Energy lances blazed like lightning across the void. The combined power of 13 empires hammered toward the human dreadnoughts. For a moment, the galaxy itself seemed to burn. But when the fire cleared, the human fleet still stood. Their shields shimmered with faint ripples, as if brushing away raindrops. Not a single ship had fallen. Inside the Guardian's bridge, Admiral Marcus Hale watched calmly. His officers stood ready, hands on controls, waiting for his word. The young officer asked, "Admiral, do we return fire?" Hale's voice was steady, cold. "No, let them see their weapons fail. Let fear take hold. Then we strike." On the alien flagships, disbelief turned into terror. The amphibian scholar whispered, "Our full barrage." It did nothing. The insectoid matriarch clicked her mandibles nervously. "This cannot be. No shield can withstand such force." The Wolf General slammed his fist against the console. "They are tricking us." "Hit them again." "Double power!" Another wave of fire lit up the void. Alien fleets poured every weapon, every missile, every ounce of energy into the human wall. Again, the dreadnoughts endured. Their shields rippled, but none fell. The Guardian of Earth glowed brighter, as if mocking the futile storm. Admiral Hale raised his hand. "Enough, show them." The Guardian's main batteries powered up. Energy surged through conduits the size of cities. The ship trembled as its cannons aligned. The dreadnought's voice roared across the fleet, a thunderous hum that echoed through the void. And then the first human broadside fired. A single blast of pure energy lanced outward. One beam, one strike. It cut through the alien vanguard like a blade through paper. In an instant, an entire fleet of 500 ships disintegrated. Shields shattered, hulls melted, engines burst into fireballs. The wreckage scattered across space, drifting silently as molten ash. The alien commanders watched in frozen horror. Thousands of their soldiers gone in a heartbeat, destroyed not by many shots, but by one. On the Council's central flagship, silence choked the bridge. No one spoke. No one moved. The avian chancellor's wings sagged. They are gods, the amphibian scholar's voice broke. We have no defense. We cannot win. The wolf general trembled with rage, but even he could not deny the truth. His fleet, his pride, had been erased with a single gesture. The guardian of Earth did not fire again. It only shifted, turning its weapons toward the next formation. Across the human fleet, other Titans powered up, their cannons glowing. Then Admiral Hale transmitted his message. His face appeared on every alien screen, his eyes like cold iron. You came to end us, to enslave us, to erase Earth. Now you see the truth. Your era is over. He paused, letting the silence cut deeper than his words. Surrender. The word echoed through every alien bridge, through every mind. Soldiers who had once believed in their invincible council now trembled before humanity's titans. Yet the council leaders refused to yield. Pride battled fear, the insectoid matriarch hissed. If we surrender, our empires are lost, the wolf general growled. Better to die than to kneel. The alien fleets regrouped, preparing for another desperate charge. Their ships turned toward the dreadnoughts, weapons heating once more. But before they could fire, every human cannon lit up in unison. Hundreds of beams, brighter than suns, aligned across the void. The Guardian of Earth locked onto the Council's flagship, its colossal cannon glowing with unstoppable power. Admiral Hale's final words cut through the darkness. Then you have chosen extinction, the human fleet fired. The void was still burning. Wreckage drifted where alien fleets had once stood proud. Thousands of ships had been erased in seconds, their ashes glowing faintly against the stars. Humanity's dreadnoughts remained in perfect formation, untouched, their cannons humming with restrained power. The Galactic Council was breaking. Inside the alien flagship, panic filled the command chamber. Leaders shouted over one another, fear cutting through their voices. The avian chancellor's feathers drooped as he spoke. We cannot stand against them. Look outside. Their ships block out the stars. Their weapons cut through us like shadows. If we fight again, we die. The wolf general's eyes blazed with rage. Coward! Better to fall in battle than to kneel before Earth. The amphibian scholar raised his trembling hands. Battle means nothing now. We have no chance. We must negotiate, or our empires will burn with us. The insectoid matriarch's mandibles clicked sharply. Do you think humanity wants peace? Did you not hear their admiral? He offered surrender only once. Refuse again and they will finish us. The chamber split. Half the leaders demanded war, desperate to cling to their pride. The other half whispered of betrayal, of abandoning the council, of reaching out to humanity in secret. And so the first messages were sent. Deep inside their ships, envoys broke their oaths and transmitted signals toward the human fleet. Pleas for mercy. Promises of loyalty, offers of secrets in exchange for survival. They believed their words would never be discovered, but on the Guardian of Earth, Admiral Marcus Hale already knew. His intelligence officers stood beside him, displaying the intercepted transmissions. Lines of alien text scrolled across the screens. Every desperate bargain, every betrayal laid bare. The young officer turned to Hale. Admiral, should we respond? Hale's expression was unreadable. Let them speak. Let them turn on each other. The council was never united. We only needed to show them the truth. Back aboard the alien flagship, tempers exploded. The wolf general slammed his claws onto the table. Traitors! You dare bow to humans behind our backs? The avian chancellor spread his wings defensively. I will not let my people die for your pride. If humanity offers a chance, I will take it, the insectoid matriarch hissed. And when they enslave us all, will your chance matter? The chamber became a storm of shouts and threats. Weapons were drawn. Guards pointed rifles at one another. The council, once the galaxy's throne of power, had turned into a nest of betrayal. The amphibian scholar tried to shout over the chaos. Stop, do you not see? This is exactly what humanity wanted. They knew we would break. They are watching us now, laughing at our weakness. At that moment, the chamber's lights flickered. Every screen went dark. A new transmission appeared. It was human. The council froze. On the screen stood Admiral Hale, his eyes steady, his voice calm. You send us your secrets. You beg for mercy. You threaten one another like frightened children. Do you think we are blind? Do you think we did not plan for this? The wolf general growled, his pride cracking. You cannot command us. Hale's voice cut like steel. I do not command. I simply watch. And I see the end of your council before me. The chamber went silent. Every leader felt the weight of his words. Then alarms began to scream across the alien fleet, systems lit up with red warnings. Hull breaches, shield failures, engines overheating. Entire sectors of their armada were collapsing, not from human fire, but from sabotage within their own ships. The insectoid matriarch's eyes widened. It cannot be. They are inside our systems, the avian chancellor whispered in horror. They control us already. The wolf general bared his teeth, but even he could not deny it. Their fleets were crumbling from the inside, their betrayal laid bare for all to see. On the Guardian's bridge, Admiral Hale turned to his officers. His voice was calm, but his eyes burned with finality. Phase 2 begins now. The human fleet shifted formation, their engines roaring like thunder. Titan-class dreadnoughts aligned with deadly precision. Dropships launched, dark shapes descending like meteors. And in the council chamber, as the doors shook from outside pressure, the silver-eyed chair whispered the words no one wanted to hear. They are coming here. The doors trembled again. Sparks flew. The sound of metal tearing filled the chamber. The leaders of the galaxy turned toward the entrance, their fear choking the air. Then the great doors of the council chamber exploded inward, and human boots stepped inside. The doors of the galactic council chamber lay shattered, torn from their hinges by a force no alien weapon could stop. Smoke rolled into the hall. The glittering walls of crystal, once a symbol of pride, now reflected fire and shadow, and then came the sound, heavy boots striking the marble floor. A rhythm of iron, slow, measured, inevitable. Human soldiers entered. They were giants compared to the council guards. Their armor gleamed with black steel, layered with adaptive plating that shimmered with shifting colors. Their visors glowed a cold blue. Each carried a weapon longer than a councillor's body, humming with energy that made the air vibrate. The alien leaders shrank back. For the first time in their lives, they felt powerless inside their own throne room. The wolf general bared his teeth, snarling. He drew his blade and roared at the humans. You dare set foot here? This chamber is sacred. You will not. A human soldier raised his weapon. One single pulse of light. The wolf general's blade melted. His armor shattered. He collapsed without a word, smoke rising from his body. The council fell silent. The humans advanced, step by step, weapons steady, eyes locked on their targets. Behind them, more Marines poured in, rows of armored figures that moved with perfect discipline. They took positions across the chamber, surrounding the leaders like hunters penning prey. The avian chancellor's wings trembled as he stumbled backward. You cannot do this. The galaxy will never accept you. One of the Marines turned his visor toward him. The silence of that gaze was answer enough. Then Admiral Marcus Hale appeared. His hologram filled the chamber, towering above the alien leaders. His uniform was spotless, his hands folded behind his back. His voice was calm, steady, merciless. Council of Worlds. For centuries you ruled with fear. You enslaved, you burned, you crushed those who could not resist. You believed yourselves eternal. Today, that ends. The insectoid matriarch's mandibles clicked in panic. We can negotiate. We can, Hale's gaze sharpened. Negotiate? With tyrants who plan to enslave Earth before our first ship left orbit. No, your time of power is over. Humanity decides now. Human Marines activated their weapons. The glow filled the chamber, casting long shadows across the trembling councillors. The amphibian scholar collapsed to his knees, his voice shaking. Please, mercy, my people had no choice. The council forced us into this war. Hale's eyes turned toward him. For a moment, silence hung heavy. Then he spoke. Your people may live, but you will not. A Marine stepped forward. The scholar's plea ended in a flash of light. The remaining leaders recoiled in terror. They had enslaved entire systems without hesitation. Yet now, faced with humanity, they saw what judgment felt like. The silver-eyed chair, the highest authority of the council, stood slowly. Her voice was firm, though her hands shook. If you destroy us, you will rule through fear just as we did. Is that what humanity wants? To become the monster it fought against? Admiral Hale's expression did not change. We do not rule through fear. We rule through strength, and strength demands justice. The soldiers closed in. The chamber that had once commanded galaxies now echoed with the hum of human weapons. Outside, the alien capital burned. Human dreadnoughts hovered above the skies, their shadows blotting out the sun. Dropships the size of towers descended, unloading endless waves of soldiers. Cities that had stood for millennia fell within hours. The council watched their empire collapse in real time. Screens flickered with images of their worlds in flames, their fleets breaking apart, their people surrendering by the millions. The avian chancellor screamed in desperation. You cannot do this. You cannot take the galaxy by force. It will unite against you. It will fight back. Admiral Hale leaned forward, his voice a whisper that cut deeper than any shout. It already did, and you lost. A hush fell over the chamber. Even the Marines seemed to pause. The truth was undeniable. Humanity had not just won a battle. Humanity had broken the galaxy's spine. The silver-eyed chair's voice cracked. Then what will you do with us? Kill us all? Replace us? Rule the galaxy as conquerors? For the first time, Hale's eyes softened just slightly. You will not decide the future anymore. That choice belongs to Earth. The Marines raised their weapons. The council leaders stared into the cold blue glow, knowing their end was seconds away. And then the chamber shook violently. The floor cracked. Alarms screamed across every system. A blinding flash of light tore through the sky outside. Human Marines steadied themselves, aiming their weapons at the chamber's ceiling as debris rained down. Admiral Hale's voice grew sharper. Report! An officer's voice came through, strained with urgency. Admiral, something is coming through the outer rim. A force we have never seen. Sensors cannot identify it. The chamber fell into stunned silence. Even the terrified council leaders turned upward, listening. The Admiral's final words echoed through the chamber like thunder. This war is not finished. The council chamber trembled as alarms blared. Human Marines braced themselves, weapons raised. The alien leaders, moments from execution, now looked upward in dread. The sky outside split open. Through the burning clouds, shapes emerged. Not ships of the council, not human vessels. Something else. They were vast, beyond comprehension. Dark silhouettes stretching for kilometers, their hulls jagged, their forms alien even to the most ancient scholars. They moved like shadows given life, bending light around them. No banners, no signals, no signatures. Just silence. The silver-eyed chair whispered, her voice trembling. It cannot be. Not them. Admiral Hale's hologram narrowed his eyes. Report, what are we seeing? The human officer's voice came sharp, tense. Unknown fleet breaching the system. Scale unprecedented. Our scans cannot penetrate their hulls. Sir, they are larger than even the Titan-class dreadnoughts. The chamber went still. Even the human Marines seemed to falter. The avian chancellor collapsed into his chair, feathers limp. The harbingers. Legends told in our oldest records. We banish the thought of them, called them myths. But they are real, the insectoid matriarch hissed in fear. They are the destroyers. The reason the ancients built weapons to hide, not to fight. They consume empires. They erase entire galaxies. The amphibian scholar's last words echoed in everyone's minds. No shield can withstand them. No wall can stop them. Admiral Hale's voice cut through the fear like a blade. So they have come. Then humanity's timing was not late. It was perfect. The council leaders turned to him in shock. The silver-eyed chair shouted, You knew. You built those monstrosities not for us, but for them. Hale's expression was calm, resolute. We knew. Humanity has seen shadows of their presence at the edge of our telescopes, fragments of their passing in the void. We prepared while you bickered over power. The Wolf General, half-conscious but defiant even in death's shadow, snarled weakly, and you let us fight you while this horror approached. Hale's voice hardened. Your council was never fit to face them. You enslaved worlds. You crushed the weak. You would have collapsed within minutes against what is coming. Humanity had no choice but to rise, to take command, to unify the galaxy by force, if necessary. This war was not conquest. It was preparation. The Marines' visors reflected the fire of the sky outside. The alien fleet of myths drew closer, blotting out stars. The avian chancellor's voice shook. If what you say is true, then we are already doomed. Admiral Hale's gaze was unyielding. No, not doomed. Prepared. Look outside. Look at Earth's guardians. Through the shattered windows of the council chamber, they saw them. Humanity's titans shifting formation. The guardian of Earth, glowing like a newborn star, moved into the lead. Other dreadnoughts followed, weapons charging, shields blazing with raw power. For the first time, the alien leaders understood the scale. Humanity had not just built warships. They had built fortresses, moving worlds of iron and fire, each one designed to face this very enemy. The silver-eyed chair whispered, her voice breaking. You mean to fight them? Hale's voice was steel. We mean to win. The alien leaders looked around, their power shattered, their armies broken, their pride turned to dust. Yet even in their despair, a truth clawed at their hearts. Humanity stood unbroken, unafraid, staring into the abyss with weapons ready. The insectoid matriarch bowed her head. Then perhaps only you can stand against them. Admiral Hale gave his final command. His words echoed through every human ship, every marine, every corner of the galaxy. All fleets, prepare for engagement. Earth stands as the shield of this galaxy. We will not fall. We will not kneel. We are humanity, the Titans roared. Engines thundered like gods awakening. Cannons charged until space itself seemed to glow. And then the harbingers struck. The first wave hit like a storm of living fire. Blades of light carved through space. Alien warships crumbled into dust. Human dreadnoughts shook under the assault, but they held. Shields flared, cannons roared, and the void lit up brighter than any sun. Inside the council chamber, alien leaders and human marines alike watched the greatest battle in history begin. Worlds trembled as titans clashed with monsters from beyond the stars. The silver-eyed chair turned to Hale's hologram, desperation in her eyes. If you fail, all life ends. Admiral Hale's gaze never wavered. Then we do not fail. The chamber shook again. Outside, the Guardian of Earth unleashed its full power. A beam so vast, it tore through a harbinger's hull, splitting the monstrosity in two. For the first time, the galaxy saw that even legends could bleed. The humans roared. The aliens gasped, and the battle for the galaxy began.